we like to talk about the box office.
Yes, the weekly box office beating, because oof,
Yeah.
this is a bad sign, people. Like I think they kind of blew their load too early in the year.
Yes. Yeah. Too many movies in March. Yeah.
Right, and we're. I guess let's just go down the list here.
Yeah.
So Civil War had um, it dropped 56% week over week, which is not a good sign,
Nope.
especially when they had a relatively light opening to start with, something like 25 million, I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
For like, it is the premiere movie right now. It
Yeah.
is not acting like the premiere movie right now.
No, it is not.
I suspect that. So I think back to the 2016 election year, and what I noticed there is that in that year they had Batman v Superman and Avengers come out,
Right.
and I couldn't help but think at the time, was that intentional to have like movies about division in an election year?
Yeah. Yeah. You wonder. Yeah.
Or was that just a coincidence because they were these big slow moving they were these big slow moving shared universes. So, like, what are the odds that they really planned it out that much?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. We'll talk about the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Welfare here in a
Yeah,
bit. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. I think that Civil War it's a movie that would be kind of unpleasant to watch under any circumstance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that in a year where people are feeling divided, it's probably too close to home. Like
Yeah.
there was this comic book universe that I forget the name of the comic now, but J. Michael Straczynski was behind, or was a major force behind it. And part of the premise was that superpowers had emerged in a world where people had just come off of a major pandemic that had wiped out a big chunk of the world's population. It's like, oh, dropping in 2020,
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
some unfortunate luck there, because you know
uh,
that anything like that, they were working on it well in advance.
yeah,
But yeah, so
yeah,
I'm not surprised that Civil War isn't doing well, but you'd expect other stuff to be picking up the slack.
yeah, yeah.
Coming in next, we have Abigail, which, man, I tell you, I saw the trailer for that ahead of what did I see that? It was probably ahead of Beekeeper.
Oh,
It's probably the movie I would have seen that would have overlapped with that.
yeah.
I cringed the whole time.
Oh, what is it? Is it a?
So it's like a horror comedy
Oh,
where basically you have this group of, I guess, mercenaries who are told to keep tabs on a little girl that they've captured, and she's a ballerina, but she's also a vampire. And so it's like you're not trapped in here with us,
oh,
or I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me scenario. Has it done with
ah,
this little girl?
okay.
It's like a film threat with Alan Ng and the guy who's taking Chris Score's place while he recovers from his stroke. Gave it a tepid review.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, Bringing up the rear, we have Godzilla X Kong with a comparable theater count and per theater average to the major newish releases.
Mm,
When the movie has now been out for a month.
yeah. Yeah. And we'll probably be hitting hitting max pretty soon.
Yeah, hopefully with this one they had the brains to punt it out a while.
Yeah.
Especially with the like complete lack of movies for them to release this year. Like this is the year when you want to stretch these things out as far as you can.
Indeed. Yeah.
And then bringing up what Ninja saw last weekend, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yes. With Henry Cavill and Alan Ritson. I think is how you pronounce his name. Um, Jack Reacher. Directed by Guy Ritchie. Ninja enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've mostly heard good things about it. Alan Richson, yeah.
Richardson, yeah.
Um, So I've heard a few explanations for this. I think I kind of have to toss out Alan Ritchson having an anti-police rant as a major reason for the movie to fail, because who
Yeah.
who would have actually heard about that?
Yeah, I don't think very many people outside of the social media sphere would know about that. I'm guessing. I was watching Midnight's Edge on Monday. I think Tom had a good point that it's not a very good title.
Yeah, it's almost too clever.
Yeah,
I wonder if ungentlemanly warfare would have been shorter and punchier. I'm thinking
yeah,
ungentlemanly. That's a 5-syllable word. That's hard to say in casual conversation.
yeah. It is. Yeah. Well, and that might be a problem with Guy Ritchie is he tries to be really clever with some stuff, and then it just kind of like people just don't get it. He is
Yeah,
British after all. Yeah,
yeah. Honestly, it's something that would work as a book title better than as a movie title.
yeah,
Because a book title, the only time you would ever have to really say it out loud is if you're asking the person at Barnes and Noble to help you find it.
right. Yeah,
Um, yeah, like the reviews I've heard of it have been good. Also, Midnight's Edge After Dark had a long stream where they're debating whether Henry Cavill actually qualified as a movie star or not, as much as he's beloved in nerd circles for being one of us.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's a good question. I mean, the last two movies he's been in have not done very well, and of course, one of those movies it was a bait and switch with his role in it. So
Right, yeah, Argyle. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, what it seems to me like is that he's a name that people know him, but I wonder if he's just been in enough bad crap that people don't come to see it. He's
yeah,
also had quite a few failures, things like Man from Uncle, for example.
yeah. Which is another Guy Ritchie movie.
Oh, was it now?
Yeah,
And Henry, you and Guy are clearly close, but maybe you should
yeah,
yeah, maybe you should pick your parts better.
yeah. Well, although the big problem with that movie was the other actor in it is a really bad guy. Uh,
Oh.
Army Hammer. Yeah. Just Google him sometime, and you'll see what I mean.
Oh, so kind of a thing where, well, it's too late to recast or reshoot.
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that's why they dumped it in August? Okay.
Yeah. Ninja says maybe S. What's SOE? It fits one of the names of the department. Oh, it must be from the movie.
I can alternate name for the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
But
it's only the second worst title of the year, I suppose.
yeah. What was the worst one?
Society of Magical Gamer
Oh,
Words.
magical. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That one.
What do you mean? The American Society of Magical Gamer Words. But
Yes.
as I rattle it off, it's actually easier to say because you don't have to twist your tongue around quite so much, and it's smaller words. So
Right.
that itself is actually an excellent indication of you don't have the best title. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Um, moving down the top five, a movie that I actually went to go see, Spy Family Code White,
Mm.
which I'll get into a review of it in a minute. I will say that this one was reasonably full when I went to the theater on a Friday night at 6.
Yeah, 2,000 screens. I mean, that's a pretty good showing there.
Yeah, it isn't quite Dragon Ball Superhero getting a $20 million opening weekend, but
Mm,
for an anime that is well known, that it isn't like one of the shonen staples like My Hero Academia or a Demon Slayer.
yeah,
I'd call that pretty good.
yeah.
Uh, Decent per theater average. I did notice it seemed to be weighted a bit towards Friday when I was looking at it,
Mm,
which probably implies that if you went to go see it, then you probably self-selected. Yeah, Friday was the big day for it.
yeah,
Although
2 million.
that does count a Sunday night preview,
Yeah,
or excuse me, Thursday night preview. Thursday night preview,
yeah, hmm,
and it's kind of died off during the week. So
yeah,
yeah, it's above 5 million now, but
yeah,
yeah. So I mean, considering that it's a release of a foreign movie, they probably oh boo hoo, we don't have as much gravy on our played as we would like it, because it made 40 million in Japan. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
um,
Kung Fu
then
Panda 4.
yeah, top 10 we don't. The rest of the top 10 we don't really have anything too surprising here.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Kung
Dune.
Fu Panda 4.
Ooh, Ghostbusters. Well, it finally got 100 million domestic.
Yep. Which, considering how expensive it was, though, and that it's only made 70 million internationally.
Yeah. Dune Part 2, which is now on video on demand.
Yep. So that's going to hurt it.
Yeah.
By the way, Timothy Chalamet, clearly a star these days,
Yeah.
considering that yeah, he has two big movies with Warner Brothers this year.
Yeah. Yeah. All the tween girls seem to really like her. Or like
Yeah,
him.
like him.
Ooh,
Oh, oh,
oh, oh, oh,
Freudian
oh,
switch there.
oh, oh.
uh, um, Monkey Man doesn't seem to have been able to swing into a higher box office.
Mm. Nice pun there.
I try. Then we got the First Omen. Yeah, this is,
Yeah.
we were seeing some real signs of life back in March, but again, like they might have just put things out too quickly in an attempt to I mean, I understand part of why they would want to delay some of the, or they wouldn't want to delay some of these movies that were already delayed, because when you're financing a movie, you're taking out loans, and every day the movie isn't released, interest is happening.
You're right. Yeah.
But not encouraging, unfortunately.
No, it isn't. Yeah. And of course, the basically the start of the summer movie season is next Friday, which I don't think there's anything coming out really next Friday.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
That's
Huh.
usually when Marvel puts out their that's when
Yeah.
Marvel would put out their new movie, but I don't think they're
Yeah.
doing anything this year.
Yeah, they basically have Deadpool 3 because apparently um, Falcon Cap's movie was so bad that they're going back and basically reshooting the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
As far as interesting activity here, they put Bob Marley One Love back into 1,000 theaters, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
What can we consider? You can watch that on Paramount Plus right now.
Yeah, and Late Night with the Devil is in theaters, which that you can watch that on Shutter.
Hmm. Was
Uh,
it okay? So it's week 5 of it.
yeah.
And also we got Shrek 2 in number 12.
Yeah.
Apparently they're still finding it worthwhile to keep it in theaters.
Yeah. What else do they have?
Yeah, that's true.